In January, Gillette released an ad that stirred up some controversy, labelled "The Best Men Can Be." Now, some people claim it took their current user base and threw them under a bus, while others say it was actually designed to appeal to women who make up 30% of men's razor purchases. But before we get into was it a good ad or an epic fail, I want to ask the question, how did a $70 billion company get themselves into this awkward spot in the first place? CEO Gary Coombs, CEO of Gillette, Gary Coombs, said that the ad was an attempt to capture market share among millennials, a category in which they were losing market share to Harry's and Dollar Shave Club. Now, Coombs said it was pretty stark. They were losing share, we were losing awareness and penetration, and something had to be done, adding they decided to take a chance in an emotionally charged way. Now, those are some pretty desperate words from a company that literally boasts some of the biggest ad spend budgets in the world. And I'm not just saying that. I just finished reading the book Playing to Win, How Strategy Really Works, written by the former CEO of P&G, the parent company of Gillette. And in the book, he repeatedly reiterated that P&G has an unparalleled advertising budget, and that's one of their unique strengths. So why is a company with a behemoth ad spend losing share and awareness and penetration to a company started in 2011 in some guy's apartment? Let's start with getting one thing off the table. It's not about price. Don't be fooled by the name Dollar Shave Club. The cheaper price is not actually Dollar Shave Club's primary strength. Nor is it just their supply chain with the convenience of to-your-door delivery, although it does play a part, as I'll explain in a moment. You see, in 2017, Gillette attempted to one-up Dollar Shave Club by implementing their own on-demand razor order service where you text to order. At the time when they released it, they boasted that our price points will be better than the other guys. However, 2 years later, here we are with Gillette posting an $8 billion non-cash write-down and complaining that millennials aren't shaving enough. Seriously, guys. And so we can see and we can learn from that just jumping into the lowest price category and attempting to deliver to your door didn't solve their problem, because it was never the real solution in the first place. And as I'll explain in a moment, Gillette's massive ad budget actually gets in the way of tapping into the real solution. You see, Dollar Shave Club's actual strength is in the form of marketing that they run, which is made possible by their business model and their supply chain. And that type of marketing is direct response marketing. Now, direct response marketing is a type of marketing designed to evoke an on-the-spot response and encourage prospective customers to take action by opting in to the advertiser's offer. Now, unlike other marketing types, the direct response requires little to no time waiting to see measurable results. And that's why Dollar Shave Club was able to launch their business from a single video that was shot in one day and cost just $4,500. I'm not kidding, we've probably all seen this video before. If you haven't, give it a Google, it's worth the watch. Now, the goal of their video was to get viewers to jump across to their website and sign up to the club. Now, on the day the video went live, the Dollar Shave Club website crashed due to overloading of the server. It worked very, very well. Now, contrast this with Gillette's branding approach to marketing, which attempts to imprint their brand and their ideas on their target market and then hope like hell that you'll decide to purchase from them when you're assessing your options at the grocery store. Now, it may look impressive to see these big brands running these big branding campaigns plastered everywhere. However, in my opinion, it covers over what is actually a much more vulnerable position, especially in a fragmented media environment. And that's why we have a massive brand like Gillette, a $70 billion brand, somewhere around there. I'm not sure where they ended up after their non-cash write-down. But that's why you have a massive brand like that struggling to maintain market share against a company started in 2011 in some guy's apartment. Now, don't be fooled by the seeming simplicity of the direct response approach. When done right, direct response marketing doesn't stop at just getting the initial response. As outlined in Dan Kennedy's book, No BS, Brand Building by Direct Response, with direct response, you do build your brand and you do a form of branding. However, you do that by communicating directly with your buyers on the back end. And that way, you're able to spend your ad budget in a really targeted way by getting people to opt into your initial offer, and then by building rock solid relationships with your most valuable target audience, your actual buyers. And by doing that, you're able to build a rock solid customer relationship, something that no amount of #MeToo is going to undo. Now, this is exactly what Dollar Shave Club did to enable their meteoric rise. And in their case, the to-your-door delivery system provided them with a pre-existent active channel of communication where they were able to slip in witty notes and stuff with the packages and execute on that long-term relationship branding type material in a really efficient way. And the results speak for themselves. They went from nothing to $1 billion, I believe. At least they sold for $1 billion to Unilever a couple of years back. I'm not sure where they are right now. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how their marketing evolves going forward now that they're owned by Unilever. Currently, I believe it's the same CEO at the helm of Dollar Shave Club. So I suspect that they'll continue down this same path for the foreseeable future. But it's going to be interesting to see how it evolves now that they are operating as a much larger company. So with that out of the way, was the Gillette ad a secret brilliant play or just an epic fail? In my humble opinion, I rate it an epic fail. I really do. Yes, it got a lot of media attention, but it was at the expense of their existing buyers. And unless they have a long-term play in mind that we can't see, then it very unsuccessful, especially when you're playing a branding game where it is all about building that long-term equity with your customer base. They took that long-term equity, which had been built over years, and then threw it under a bus whilst attempting to jump into a new marketplace. And I think that new marketplace was seriously patronized by the message of that video, so that there wasn't really any handoff there. There is so many things that was an epic fail. The other thing, which I think was a massive missed opportunity, is they didn't acknowledge their own stance or apologize for their own stance that they were attempting to backtrack on. They kind of acknowledged it a little bit at the start with by playing one of their old ads and then sort of bursting through it, but it was very, very patronizing, I believe, to their target audience. Now, the three main reasons why I perceive it as a fail, there's lots of things that we can talk about there, which I think other people have talked about quite a lot to this point. And if you haven't seen this ad, have a watch, because it's very interesting ad, because in theory, the message is a good message, yet it has seriously offended people, and that makes it very, very interesting. But I'll get to that in a moment after my summation. So the three core reasons that I think was an epic fail is one, while the CEO was attempting to play down the negative response to the campaign, he did let slip that he was surprised by the intense backlash, which that tells me that he was not expecting the backlash as part of the initial plan, which also tells me that they don't have a longer term play in place, or they didn't initially, and that although they were vying for attention, this was not the attention they were initially calculating for. Now, the second reason is the target audience has spoken. You've got to listen to the target audience. I think it's ludicrous that people would say it's like the audience hated it, but it was a success. I mean, are you selling more razors? That needs to be your measurement of success. In this instance, they aren't doing direct response marketing, so their measurement for success should be how much people love their material and how much people love their brand because of the material that they created, and that has not been the overwhelming response from the marketplace. And finally, as I kind of alluded to a moment ago, it's a branding campaign, and in my mind, that's a fail from the very beginning. You don't have a direct measurable ROI, so it's a fail from the very beginning if you're taking that approach to marketing. Need I say more? But my summation, and if you haven't seen the ad, have a watch of it, because it's a very interesting case of a good message encoded badly. And this is a really important learning experience for copywriters and for business people when it comes to crafting your message. I think it's really important to be controversial at times and to stand against ideas and things like that. But there were two things that they did really badly, and I'll explain that in just one second. But my summation is it was a good message that was written and produced really badly. And it really comes back to copywriting 101. Seriously, they failed at one of the most simplest and foundational rules of copywriting, and that is it's not the customer's fault. If you're talking to a customer, just say you're selling weight loss products or some sort of business development products or something like that, wherever your customer is currently, whatever their potential failures are, it's not their fault. That's the whole point of your marketing. Is you need to alleviate that blame game, and you need to you can't run around pointing the finger at your target audience. This is copywriting 101. What's the odd saying? People do anything for those who allay their fears, confirm their suspicions, and help them throw rocks at their enemies. I think there's another one in there, but Gillette did all of those things completely backwards. They threw rocks at their target audience, and they they brought up all of their target audience's worst character traits and really made them feel pretty terrible about it. So so for all of those reasons, I believe it was a bit of a fail. But I would love to hear your opinion in the comments section below. Do you think it was a success? Do you think it was a fail? Do you think that they were aiming to achieve something bigger than just sales, or was this all about sales? I'm really curious to hear what your opinions are. I know a lot of people have spoken about this, and I think people have too quickly jumped onto the political sides of things regarding this conversation. I really want to know, is this a good move for Gillette as a business? And I want to hear what your thoughts are in the comment section below. You know what my opinion is, and I would love to hear yours. So I'm Steve Mills from Mills Motion. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, we'll talk again real soon. Bye. Oh, and I almost forgot, I provided a link below this video to an example of this same message encoded differently. It's a video by the folks at Edgar Watches, and I haven't put it into this video because, well, you know what YouTube is like, right? If I put somebody else's material into my content, they'll probably come over to my house and kick down my drawer and drag me away kicking and screaming. At least that's what I read in the fine print when I signed up to the terms and conditions of the YouTube partnership. So if you want to check out an example of what I believe is executing a similar message to what Gillette was trying to go for, but doing it in a positive way, then click on that link below this video. There's quite a clever one from the folks at Edgar Watches, where they put a more positive spin on the message, on what I believe to be a similar message to what Gillette was going for at its core. But again, I'm super excited to hear what your opinions are. Let me know in the comment section below. I'm Steve Mills from Mills Motion. We'll talk again real soon.